Welcome to the DevOps Lab, and today we have a very special guest, Frank Boucher, who's going to jump in and tell us all about template functions in ARM. Welcome to the DevOps Lab. Today we have a very special guest with us, Frank Boucher, who will be teaching us all about ARM templates and template functions. How's it going, Frank?
Very well, thanks, Abel. How about you?
Good. I am so excited to have you on the show again. Last time we covered parameters, right? And we're talking about ARM templates. And today you said you're going to touch on functions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly are functions and how do they work?
Well, in the ARM template, there's it's very similar than JSON, but in fact, it's more rich because you have functions. And today I want to show you a few of them because there's tons of them to help us making our ARM template a little bit more dynamics, because there's good chance that, I don't know if you try, Abel, since last time we saw each other, but if you try to run the script, there's good chance that you fall on the error that name already exists.
So yes, I totally did. Yeah. So you're going to show us how to fix that?
Yeah, we'll get started, at least to improve the situation.
Okay, let's show me.
Okay, so here that's the template as we left it last time. So we had 2 parameters, a storage name, a storage queue, SKU, and the resource, and we are deploying Azure storage. Kind of very simple, but it's good because we can work with it and it's not too complicated. So just to keep that one fresh, I had the same thing here. So what we want is to try to have something dynamic in the name. So what we can do is add a date here. So here I have added a new parameter. I call it myDate, and it's a string. I put a default value, and here I use the function UTC-now, and I pass the format. So UTC-now is one of the function I want to share with you today to get a date.
Cool.
So that, will be some kind of randomness if I'm deploying, because, it's here, month, day, hour, minutes. So there's less chance someone else is deploying exactly the same thing as me at the same time. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to use in the resource the function concat. So concat, it's very regular, like in any other language, it will concatenate all the other strings. So in this example, we'll concatenate the parameter storage name that we were already using, and we'll add the parameter myDate. So this way, we'll have something that should be a little bit more dynamic. And then, of course, I use that everywhere where I was using. So if I go now and validate, this, of course, as always, we need to validate. So right. If I run that, we'll spin a few seconds, and it should pass. So it's long, error null, and we see it. The storage has been, it will be a valid name.
Cool.
But can you see the problem, Abel, here when we're using this method? Is if I'm trying to redeploy, the name will change.
That's right. We're a
loop. So it's unique, but it's kind of too unique. We need something unique, but when I'm redeploying in a resource group, I want the same value. So that's a problem. So one thing we can do is then say, okay, I want something unique. So what we can use is instead of myDate, let's remove this. We don't need that anymore. I was just an example to show the UTC because it could be useful. So instead, what we want to use is a function called unique string. And if I can type correctly, unique string. So now we have a unique string and we need to pass a value that doesn't change. So when we deploy, what doesn't change? When we deploy in a resource group, the only thing that doesn't change, well, it's the resource group. And lucky for us, in ARM template, we have a function that returns that object. If I mouse over, we'll see. So it returned the object. So this way, I will have access to all the property of the resource group I'm currently deploying in.
Oh, so wait, one quick question here, just to make sure I'm understanding all of this. So
yes.
Resource group is a function that will return you the object of your resource group itself. And then
exactly.
you're passing that into the function unique string. Is that correct?
Like I want to pass one parameter, so I want value. So what I want to do here, see, I have the object. So I want to pass the ID.
Got it.
The names. I saw a lot of people using the names. You could name a resource group exactly the same as I do. So this is not unique. You want to use the ID because this is unique. This is how Azure find out, the resource group. So now, if I zoom a little bit, this part here is the resource ID of my resource group. It could be called test123, and you could also have a resource group called test123 in your subscription, Abel. But both have different IDs.
Yep. Got it.
So this is really unique, and now I have a unique string, a hash make of that thing.
Cool. Very, very cool.
So now I have a complete value that is unique, and of course I want to use it in my display also. So there you have it.
Nice. So functions are very powerful. Is there a list of functions that we can use for ARM?
Yes, there's an excellent website. We'll add the link into the description. There's tons, because I couldn't show you all of them, but there's one for all types of objects we have. So the array, the string, the binary, all of those, the object, all of those are available in the docs, Microsoft documentation.
That is absolutely fantastic. Man, thank you so much, Frank. This was fascinating stuff. Because, I always thought ARM templates, it was like just JSON, but it's a lot more, right? It's kind of its own language in itself.
Indeed.
And, yeah, it's awesome. And it even has its own built-in functions that can do all sorts of stuff, like functions on arrays and strings and objects and resources, and the list just goes on and on. That's super, super cool. The deeper we dive into ARM, the more impressed I am. So if you need more information on ARM templates, click on those links below. Also, watch those other episodes of Demystifying ARM series, and we'll see you next time on the DevOps Lab.